Good morning, everybody. Can I just say, I've got all the sort of formal things I'm going to say in a moment, but it's fantastic to hear such a buzz in the room. And I hope you liked our theme music there. David Bowie, Changes, Turn and Face the Strange, which may be some of what we're about to start hearing about from our first speaker in a moment. So, first of all, thank you all very, very much for coming. We are just bringing in a few extra chairs because we're absolutely sold out and we've got a few more people still arriving, which is great. For those of you that I haven't yet met this morning who don't already know me, if you haven't already guessed, I'm Jane Ide. I'm the relatively new Chief Executive of NAVCA, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you to what is my first conference and AGM as NAVCA Chief Executive. I'll do the housekeeping bits first of all. We're not expecting any fire alarms. If a fire alarm does go off, we will be making our way back out down the corridor to our right and out through the main entrance and gathering out on the piazza out there on a glorious December day. And there will be staff from the building who will have high-vis jackets and make sure we all leave the building safely. But I'm not expecting anything, so fingers crossed we should be fine for that. The gents' toilets is down the staircase B. Ladies is up staircase C. I don't know what happened to staircase A, that's doing something else. Disabled boos are right opposite the reception desk, obviously at level access. For those of you that need it, the Wi-Fi password is openpool, all lowercase, OPENPOOL. One quick mention that I've been asked to raise by our signing team. If you're here as a nominated representative for the AGM this afternoon and you haven't signed in for your pack, please have a word with Anastasia, who's just arrived at the back of the room, in the tea break, and make sure you've got all the details for that. You'll have noticed we have got cameras all over the place. We are live streaming today, which is fantastic. That's a first for NAVCA, and I hope that means that there'll be some people, at least, we've no idea how many, who will be watching this as we go through the day and getting the value and the benefit of the content of the day. We're also capturing photographs, still photographs, and also some other video, which I'll explain in a moment. If anybody absolutely does not want to be caught on camera, that's absolutely fine, but do please speak to the camera folks, they are all cameramen, but camera folks, or raise it with one of the team and make sure that we're aware of that, and we'll do everything we can to avoid that problem for you. Talking of the team, I hope they're all here in the room. I would like just to take a quick moment to introduce you. Now this is going to be awkward because they're all actually behind you and you can't all turn around and look at them, you'll crane your necks. Come forward guys, just so that everybody can see who you are, very briefly. Because we have new members of the team and new members of NAVCA here as well. So, working from right to left, and we don't have Julianne with us, she must be still on the reception desk. So, on my far right, Anastasia, who is our operations officer. Anna, some of you will have known her as Anna Gaunt when she had dark hair. She is now Anna Pashley, and she's gone blonde, who's our membership lead. Amanda Stevens, who is our newly appointed research policy lead, and Tom Watson, not Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, sorry, got to say that, who is our Business and Communications Lead. Along with me, and Julianne, who you'll have met on the reception desk, we're around all day. If you've got any problems, if you've got any questions, just grab one of us and we'll do whatever we can to help you get through the day in a good way. Okay, off you go guys, thank you very much. So, the theme of the day, and you'll all know this because you've had loads of publicity from us beforehand, but the theme of the day is future-proofing local social action. And what we've set out to do today with our agenda and with our speakers is to offer you some provocative, sometimes challenging, but always forward-looking speakers and topics. I'm going to be really honest with you. You might go home feeling a lot less comfortable than you do now. This is not going to be one of those events that you go home, I hope, and think, that was nice, we had a nice day out of the office, let's get back to the day job. Our job in local infrastructure is to stay ahead of the game, to prepare ourselves and our organisations to be resilient and ready, to make sure our boats don't go down in stormy seas when there are people out there who badly need us to stay afloat. So if today raises more questions than answers, that's okay. NAVCA's been around a very long time, and we're not going anywhere anytime soon. And today is just one more step on the journey that we're taking alongside you to prepare for that challenging and complex future. Given the range of challenges and topics that our speakers are going to share with us today, there's no way we're going to find answers to all those questions just in one conference. So you can expect to see that the themes that are raised and the questions that you ask and that you raise through the day are going to be at the heart of ongoing conversations and debates within the NAVCA family in coming months. In terms of the format of the day, we very much designed this around the principle of TEDx meets on conference. And some of you may know what I mean by that, and some of you may not yet, but that's partly what we're hoping to share with you today. There will be no slides other than names and Twitter handles. And we don't want you to feel that you have to take notes either. We want you to be free to listen, to engage, to question, and to think. So, we're going to be storifying the Twitter feed. We're going to have clips of the live stream will be available on social media in coming days. And if you don't understand that last sentence, I strongly urge you to go and have a chat with Mandy Johnson in the break, because she'll explain that to you. But there will be ways to gather the content of the conference after today as well. Do feel free, please, to tweet your thoughts about what you're hearing, and do continue the conversation with those who've been here and those who haven't after the event has finished. The hashtag for today, you'll see it on everything, is hashtag NAVCA Future Forward. And we know that people are already starting to share content and information on Twitter through that. I mentioned earlier that we're capturing some video besides the live streaming. And just to explain that, throughout the day, we're going to be capturing the discussions and the conversations that are going on in the room to contribute to the inquiry on the future of civil society that's being chaired by Julia Unwin. I know some of you have already contributed to that in other formats as well. Julia, of course, is going to be one of our speakers this afternoon. And we want to make sure that the voice of infrastructure, local infrastructure, is heard in that debate. So please, if you see Alex, who's at the back there, appearing with his camera while you're having a conversation, please don't go all shy on us. We're capturing it to feed into that inquiry. Julie is also planning, I hope, to be joining us for lunch, so you might have a chance to share your thoughts with her then as well, which would be great. Before I wrap up, I do want to say a thank you to our sponsors, the Connect Fund, without whom the live streaming would not be possible. And I do encourage you in the breaks to go and have a chat with our exhibitors who will be set up by the time we get to the tea break. Talking of which, I forgot to mention, we haven't printed out copies of the agenda, for obvious reasons. We've got copies stuck up on various points in the room. Do feel free to go and take a picture on your mobile phone in the break. And because I know what it's like sitting in an event not knowing when you're going to have another drink, basically, there will be a tea break at about 11:15, and there will be plenty more coffee and tea outside.